Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a deep dive into interview prep for all you aspiring animation layout artists out there. We've got a ton of great resources from RoleCatcher to help us out. Career guides, interview guides, even info on their super cool AI tools.
It's all about giving you the edge you need in this competitive field.
Exactly. So by the end of this, you'll know how to answer those tricky interview questions, get some insider tips from the pros, and see how RoleCatcher can be like your secret weapon. Ready to level up your animation game? Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, first things first, picture this. You're in the interview hot seat and they hit you with, what experience do you have with animation software? What's your go-to answer?
Got to mention the big names right off the bat. Maya Blender, the industry standards.
Yeah, you got to show them you speak the language.
Exactly. But it's not enough to just list them off. You need to demonstrate that you can actually use them like a pro.
I had a friend who once put MS Paint on their animation resume. Not a good look.
Yeah, avoid that mistake. Think about specific projects where you really push the boundaries of the software. Like maybe you used Maya's scripting tools to automate a complex animation or created some awesome particle effects in Blender.
So show them you're not just clicking buttons, you're a power user.
Right. You're a problem solver, a creative thinker, someone who can really leverage the tools to bring their vision to life.
Okay, that's a great tip. Now, let's say they follow up with, can you walk us through your animation process? How do you tackle that one?
Well, I like to break it down into three main stages: pre-production, production, and post-production.
Like baking a cake, you got to have a recipe. Right?
Exactly. Pre-production is all about laying the groundwork. You analyze the storyboard plan, your camera angles, figure out the overall flow of the scene.
So that's your blueprint, your roadmap.
Right. Then comes production, the fun part, where you actually bring the scene to life. You're animating characters, refining movements, adding all those juicy details.
That's where the magic happens.
And finally, you have post-production, where you polish everything up, add lighting, color correction, special effects. It's all about making the scene visually stunning.
The finishing touches.
Exactly. Now, when you're explaining this, keep it clear, concise, and confident. You don't need to go into every little detail, but you want to show them you understand the pipeline and can see the big picture.
Structure, clarity, confidence. Got it. Now, what about teamwork? That's got to be huge in animation, right? Yeah. How would you approach a question like, how do you collaborate with other artists and departments?
Collaboration is key in animation.
Yeah.
It's all about communication, respect, and being able to blend different perspectives together.
Ooh, once I was working on a project and there was a miscommunication between departments and the character's hair ended up turning purple. It was hilarious in hindsight, but not so much at the time.
Yeah, clear communication is so important. So in your answer, highlight how you actively listen to feedback, respectfully share your ideas, and make sure everyone's on the same page.
So it's not just about being a talented artist. It's about being a team player who can communicate effectively.
Exactly. You want to show them that you can thrive in a collaborative environment and contribute to a shared vision.
Got it. Now let's talk about feedback. I know that can be a nerve-wracking topic for some people. What's the best way to handle a question like, can you provide examples of how you incorporate feedback into your work?
This is your chance to show them you have a growth mindset, that you're open to learning and using feedback to constantly improve.
Turn that potential negative into a positive.
Right. Don't just say you're open to feedback. Give them a specific example. Maybe talk about a time you received critique, listened carefully, and then implemented those suggestions to make your work even better.
So show them you can take constructive criticism and use it to level up your skills.
Exactly. And that you're always striving to learn and grow as an artist.
Okay, I'm loving these tips. But how do you stay up to date with all the latest animation trends and techniques? What would you say if they asked, how do you stay current in the field?
Ooh, I love this question. It's your chance to nerd out a little bit. Talk about industry blogs, conferences, the animators you follow on social media. Show them you're passionate about animation and always hungry for new knowledge.
Speaking of staying up to date, I'm totally hooked on this podcast about VR animation. It's blowing my mind.
See? That's the kind of enthusiasm they want to see. But it's not just about passively absorbing information, right? You got to be actively experimenting with new techniques, pushing your boundaries.
So maybe you've been playing with Blender's new grease pencil tools or diving into the latest motion capture advancements.
Exactly. Yeah. Show them you're a lifelong learner, always seeking to expand your skill set.
Okay, so it's about showcasing your passion, your curiosity, and your willingness to experiment.
Absolutely. The animation world is constantly evolving, and you got to be ready to evolve with it.
All right, so we've talked about software process, collaboration feedback, and staying up to date. Now let's get into a question that I think is at the heart of what an animation layout artist does. How do you balance creativity with technical constraints in your work?
Ugh, the age-old struggle. It's like being given a puzzle with missing pieces and being told to create a masterpiece.
That's a great analogy.
Right, you got to be resourceful, adaptable, and still find a way to make it visually stunning.
So it's about problem solving, thinking outside the box, and finding creative solutions within limitations.
Exactly. Give them an example of a time you faced a technical challenge, maybe a tight deadline or a software glitch, and explain how you creatively worked around it without compromising the artistic vision.
Show them you can think on your feet and find elegant solutions even when things get tricky.
Exactly. And that you can adapt to unexpected challenges, which, let's face it, happens all the time in animation.
So true. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about skills development. How would you suggest someone tackle a question like, can you provide examples of how you have improved your animation skills over time?
This is your chance to highlight your growth trajectory. Think about specific milestones in your journey. Maybe you mastered a new software, took a course that pushed your boundaries, or received feedback that led to a significant improvement.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide suggests creating a timeline of your skills development. I think that's a really helpful tip because it allows you to pinpoint those moments of growth and articulate them clearly.
Absolutely. It gives your answer structure and shows them you're actively invested in your own growth.
Okay, so structure and clarity are key when showcasing your skills progression.
Right. And don't be afraid to get specific. Talk about the challenges you face, the lessons you learn, and the tangible improvements you've made.
I love it. Now, another question that often comes up is about workload management. How do you prioritize and manage your workload on multiple projects?
The juggling act. It's a skill every animator needs to master.
I feel like organization is key here.
Yeah.
I actually started using a color-coded calendar system based on a tip from RoleCatcher, and it's been a lifesaver.
That's a great strategy. Time management is crucial. When answering this question, talk about your techniques for prioritizing tasks, staying organized, and communicating effectively with your team.
It's all about showing them you can handle the heat, even when things get hectic.
Right, that you're a master of organization and can keep multiple projects moving forward smoothly.
Okay, so organization, communication, and a clear sense of priorities are essential for managing that workload.
Absolutely. It shows them you're reliable, responsible, and can handle the demands of a fast-paced animation environment.
Awesome. Now let's dive into a question that gets to the heart of visual storytelling. Can you explain your understanding of composition and camera angles in animation?
Ooh, this is where you get to show off your cinematic knowledge.
Lights, camera, action.
Exactly. Talk about how different camera angles, wide shots, close-ups over the shoulder shots can evoke different emotions and guide the viewer's eye.
The RoleCatcher Guide actually dives into a cool concept called the rule of thirds, which is a compositional guideline that helps create balanced and visually pleasing shots. I think mentioning something specific like that would really impress the interviewer.
Absolutely. It shows you understand the principles of visual storytelling and how to use composition to enhance the narrative.
Okay, so it's not just about knowing the terminology, it's about understanding how to use those techniques to create a compelling visual experience.
Right. Composition and camera angles are powerful tools for storytelling, and you want to show them, how to wield them effectively.
All right, last question for this round. Let's talk about sound. Can you provide examples of how you have collaborated with sound designers or composers to enhance your animation?
Sound design is so essential to animation. It can really elevate the emotional impact of a scene.
Oh, I once worked on a project where a simple jump animation became a truly heart-stopping moment just by adding the perfect sound effect. It really brought the scene to life.
That's a perfect example. Share a story about a time you worked with sound designers, how you communicated your vision, and how their work enhanced the final product.
So it's about understanding how sound and visuals work together to create a truly immersive experience.
Exactly. Show them that you value the collaborative process and understand how different elements contribute to the overall impact of the animation.
Awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from software knowledge to collaboration to the importance of sound design. It's clear that an animation layout artist wears many hats.
And through these questions, we've seen how to showcase the diverse skill set and creative thinking that this role demands.
Well, hold on, there's one more piece of this puzzle, RoleCatcher.
Ah, yes, RoleCatcher, your secret weapon for acing those interviews.
It's not just about knowing the right answers. It's about tailoring them to specific job descriptions and really nailing that delivery. That's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Exactly. In the next part, we'll explore how RoleCatcher can help you fine-tune your answers, practice your delivery, and gain that extra edge to stand out from the crowd.
Stay tuned, folks. We're just getting started. Welcome back to our deep dive into animation layout artist interview prep. All right, so last time we were talking about how RoleCatcher's AI can be a total game changer when it comes to tailoring your answers and practicing your delivery. Are you ready to see how this thing really works?
Absolutely. Let's break it down.
Okay, so first up, the resume. You know how important it is to make yours stand out, but how does RoleCatcher actually help with that?
Well, it all starts with their AI-powered analysis. You upload your resume and the job description you're targeting, and RoleCatcher's AI goes to work comparing the two.
So it's like having a super smart assistant who can instantly tell you what skills and keywords are most important for that specific job.
Exactly. It highlights the areas where you're strong and also identifies any potential gaps so you can make sure your resume is hitting all the right notes.
Okay, so it's not just about having the right experience.
Yeah.
It's about showcasing it in a way that aligns perfectly with what the employer's looking for.
Precisely. It's all about making sure your resume is speaking their language.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about those practice questions? I know RoleCatcher has like a massive database of them, but how does the AI come into play there?
Well, it's not just about having a ton of questions, it's about having the right questions. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Okay, so it's filtering through that massive database and picking out the questions that are most relevant to this specific job I'm applying for.
You got it. It's creating a custom-made study guide tailored to your dream role.
That's so cool. It's like having a personal interview coach who knows exactly what to expect.
Exactly. But it gets even better. You can actually record yourself answering those practice questions, and RoleCatcher's AI will analyze your delivery.
Wait, seriously, it's like having a virtual mock interview with an AI expert.
It really is. The AI will provide feedback on everything from your clarity and conciseness to your use of relevant keywords and even your tone of voice.
So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Precisely. Because let's face it, confidence and presentation skills are just as important as the content of your answers.
This is amazing. So RoleCatcher is like a one-stop shop for interview prep. It helps you tailor your resume, practice your answers, and even get feedback on your delivery.
And the best part is it's constantly learning and evolving. As you use it, it gets even better at understanding your strengths and weaknesses and providing personalized guidance.
It's like having an AI mentor who's always in your corner, helping you level up your game.
Exactly. RoleCatcher empowers you to put your best foot forward and really shine in those interviews.
So it's clear that RoleCatcher's AI is a powerful tool, but at the end of the day, it's still up to you to bring your A game to that interview right.
Of course. No AI can replace your passion, your creativity, and your unique personality. But what RoleCatcher does is give you the edge you need to showcase those qualities with confidence.
So walk into that interview room or virtual room, knowing that you've prepared thoroughly, you've got the skills, and you're genuinely excited about the opportunity.
And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. A little bit of humor and storytelling can go a long way.
Show them that you're not just a skilled artist, but also a great collaborator and someone they'd want to have on their team.
Exactly. Make a connection. Show them who you are and why you're passionate about animation.
And remember, the interview is a two-way street. You're also evaluating them to see if it's the right fit for you. So ask questions, be engaged, and let your enthusiasm shine through.
It's all about finding that perfect match where your skills and passion align with their vision.
And before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Think about your dream animation project. What kind of world would you create? What stories would you tell? Let that vision fuel your passion and guide you on your journey.
It's those dreams that make animation such a magical and rewarding field.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
go out there, animate your heart out, and crush those interviews. And we're back for the final round of our animation layout artist interview prep deep dive.
Ready to seal the deal.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling pumped and ready to land that dream job. But before we jump into the grand finale, I got to ask, what's one piece of advice you'd give to anyone prepping for an animation interview?
That's a tough one. But I'd say the most important thing is to be authentic. Be yourself. Let your passion shine through. Because at the end of the day, they're not just looking for someone with the right skills. They're looking for someone who's a good fit for their team. Someone who's excited about the work and brings positive energy to the table.
That's such great advice. Because, skills can be taught, but that genuine enthusiasm, that's something special.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. Tell stories, share your inspirations, show them what makes you tick.
And don't forget to ask questions, too. It shows you're curious and engaged.
Absolutely. The interview is a two-way street. You're also evaluating them to see if it's the right fit for you.
So be observant, ask thoughtful questions, and trust your gut feeling.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, you want to find a workplace where you can thrive both creatively and professionally.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of authenticity and being engaged, but what about those nerves? Any tips for staying calm and collected under pressure?
Everyone gets nervous in interviews. It's totally normal. But here's a little trick I learned. Take a few deep breaths before you go in. Visualize yourself succeeding. Focus on your strength and remind yourself why you're passionate about animation.
I love that. Visualization is such a powerful tool. And you know what else helps? Preparation. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel.
Absolutely. That's why we spent this whole deep dive talking about those common interview questions and how to approach them. And of course, RoleCatcher's AI tools can be a huge help in that department.
Oh yeah, RoleCatcher is like our secret weapon for interview prep. It's helped us tailor our resumes, practice our answers, and get feedback on our delivery.
And the beauty of it is that it's constantly evolving. So as the animation industry changes, RoleCatcher's AI adapts right along with it.
So no matter what the future holds, RoleCatcher will be there to help you navigate those interviews and land your dream job.
Exactly. It's like having a personal career coach who's always in your corner.
So there you have it, folks. Everything you need to know to ace those animations layout artist interviews. Remember, be authentic, be prepared, and be confident.
And most importantly, have fun with it. Animation is an incredible field, and we can't wait to see what you create.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take the animation world by storm. And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher. They've got all the tools and resources you need to make your animation dreams a reality. Until next time, keep animating, keep creating, and keep reaching for the stars.